Hello, welcome to Big Bang Radio Spotlights. This is a show where we talk to independent artists from all around the world all about their music and their process for making it. I'm your host, Isaac Anderson, and today I got to sit down with the band Phunk. Without any further ado, here's the interview. You guys are all here. Obviously, Phunk is kind of a really big outfit, and it kind of encompasses a whole lot. But just you guys right here. Can you tell me what is your earliest musical memory? Like, what is the first thing that you really can remember of listening to music, playing music? This is the hardest questions for people to answer.
The earliest what?
Earliest memory of music.
Oh, probably the Backstreet Boys.
My dad had a Casio keyboard growing up, a synthesizer, and I remember taking pieces of paper and writing the letters of the notes on the keyboard, and that was when I was starting to really fall in love with music. And then whatever they played, the funk, soul, blues, growing up, it just started to get in my bloodstream, and that's when I really was a music lover. That was age 9 or 10. I don't know about you guys.
I used to listen to Shania Twain's live album every day in my mom's car growing up. So yeah.
Wayne?
The first CD I listened to was Biggie Smalls' Ready to Die, and I used to steal it from my dad's collection, and I kept listening to it until I couldn't listen to it no more.
Oh,
yeah.
Very nice, very nice, eclectic kind of memories in that. Yeah, I think it's cool, and I think that kind of encompasses what you guys do because your sound is just so diverse and so different from a lot of things out there. I think that really all your influences kind of really show, even as far back as that. But kind of going more into as you've grown as musicians, how did each one of you kind of get into playing music or writing music?
Even before Phantom Phunk?
Yeah, just in general, just on a personal level.
Sports wasn't really, I guess, the best thing for me. So yeah, I just picked up guitar, kind of self-taught. Play little drums.
Yeah, my when I was in sixth grade, my school made all the sixth graders do a band instrument. So I did flute. Was actually my first instrument, and it was just a lot of fun, learning to play music.
Yeah, I started writing songs in middle school, but it wasn't until I was failing horribly at geometry, I had to go see a tutor, and the tutor's husband was a music producer, and he had a studio in his basement. So I do lessons, partially tutoring, and then I go downstairs and check out the studio and just ask a ton of questions.
Awesome.
Yeah. Talent show in fourth grade when I used to rap other people's songs. I remember one year was Nick Cannon's Gigolo song.
Oh, that was a big song.
It was a nice song. I think it was that or I really don't like this dude. I can't stand him. And I remember doing that and I was like, wow, this is corny. But I could see this being less corny one day. And that's how I got to write it.
Because you were rapping it, yeah.
Yeah.
So for anybody that really hasn't or is not familiar with you guys, basically you're like a big super group almost. Like you guys, obviously you have the core members, but you also have a bunch of members that kind of come in and out and everything, and it's all focused around the studio. It's a Harmonic Factory, right?
Yeah, that's the studio we work out of.
Yeah, so can you tell me how you get involved with Harmonic Factory, what exactly it is, and how exactly you guys go about finding some of the other artists that perform on Funk's music?
Gotcha. Okay, so Harmonic Factory is kind of like our home studio. So we write and record out of there. So everything online, we kind of produce ourselves. And then in the early years of the project, we had different people in the group that we were just writing with, and they would sing for us and stuff like that. And we kind of just changed group members over a while, but they were still contributing like their songwriting and stuff like that. So that's kind of like part of our history, and now we're kind of doing something new, essentially. Yeah.
Awesome. So the next thing is your sound, because you take a lot of influence from. I hear a lot of like Gorillaz. I hear like a lot of TV on the radio in your stuff. I don't know if that was like intentional or not, but like I really like it's kind of like you have like hip hop and rap, and you have like the more rock elements. You have some punk elements in there too. It's a really cool eclectic mix. How did you go about kind of crafting that sound? Was it just something that like naturally just poured out of you guys, or was like we want to make music like this, and we're gonna have to try to write around trying to perform kind of like this kind of music?
Probably Hector.
Yeah. You want to answer it?
Oh yeah. So since I've been in the band, we craft demos and we try to really work on a song and really take it as an experiment. We know we like to experiment and dabble with different sounds, so we make sure we take that time to like a week or 2 weeks and work on a song instead of just hopping around. Everybody kind of steps in the studio at a given time, contributes their masterfulness per se, and then like we really try to craft it. Hector does a great job with the engineering. Like I said, we love sound design in movies. We're very inspired. We watch Netflix together, and we try to really go after something that can like capture people without it being too eccentric, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Plus, we all kind of like throw in our own ideas for songs and stuff like that. So like the songwriting comes from different areas of the group, and like each song is different. So we kind of just have a different approach to it each time around,
Yeah, and that was going to be something that I was going to ask you guys next. Exactly, like how do you guys write your music? Because you guys are a large outfit. Do you guys tend to like just jam together, or is it pretty much always like that, where you guys kind of like come into the studio different times and then kind of put your own stamp on it? I don't know. I'm always interested to hear what artists have to say about that. And I think we kind of did touch on it, but just a little bit more specifically.
You want to answer it?
Yeah, we all just kind of contribute little bits and pieces in our own way. I'll write like a little tune, and then I'll send it over to Hector, and then he'll kind of tweak it and like give it like his own little spice. And then from there, like PK will jump in with lyrics or like maybe a chorus or something like that. And then Wayne will come in and give his thoughts and stuff like that. So it's really just like little ideas that everybody has, and then we try and like grow it from there.
At different times.
Yeah. Sometimes one of us will like lock ourselves away for like weeks at a time, and then we like come out, with a full beard and everything, with like a new song.
Dang. It's like what D'Angelo, the artist D'Angelo, used to do. Like he used to like roll a big tape machine in his hotel room, and he used to just record in his hotel room just because that's how he liked writing.
I agree.
That's super cool. So you guys are in Florida, correct? I believe you guys are in Tampa.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How is the music scene in Tampa, Florida? And we can kind of go through what is it like playing shows in that area, and just kind of like how was the scene in that area?
Sure. Well, Tampa's kind of like a sports city, so there's like some music scene, but if you do like a 40-minute drive to the coast, you'll get to like St. Pete, and there's like a more thriving art and music community, a little bit younger demographic and stuff like that. But it's fair. Tampa's like, it's okay. It's not spectacular, but it's not, all that bad either. We played in North Carolina a few times actually, and we really like it. We like that part of the country too.
Oh, sweet. I think now we should probably get into your catalog of music. So I believe your first album, and forgive me if I'm not pronouncing this right, it's Aboris Pacific, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was stressing about trying to pronounce it. I just want to make sure I got it right. That's the first album that I found on Spotify. Did you guys do anything before that, like any sort of like EPs or anything before that?
No, yeah, those are like first. That was like our first time coming together as a group. So we're just kind of like figuring ourselves out and just writing.
Heard that, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's kind of talk about that real quick. What was the recording like for that album? Like you said, you were trying to figure things out and everything. I don't know if you guys have a background in like production or anything like that. Like, how was it produced? How did the songwriting come together? And how do you feel like you've kind of evolved since then? And like, what's some things that you really take from that experience?
Everything was kind of just thrown together. We had 4 members at the time, and out of the 4, 3, it was Juan, Sash, and you. They each had like maybe 2 or 3 songs to contribute to the album, and we kind of just like threw it together, kind of in hopes that it would kind of, I guess, make sense, and it kind of did. But it was our first album, so it was very, I don't know.
We didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah,
we were
we
like,
didn't.
half the band is like learning our instruments like while we're writing, and when we were like recording, we didn't know. We were just literally figuring it out. So like a lot of the stuff has like no compression or no reverb and stuff like that. We were just because we didn't know, so it was like a big learning curve for us, but it was a lot of fun. It took like a year and a half to do all the writing and recording. So
your latest release, I believe, is called Tongue Tied. So can you explain kind of like how the process for was for recording that? Like maybe some like the writing influences.
Didn't it come on day by day?
It came from Stranger Things originally.
Stranger Things. Oh, that's even better.
So I started messing around on the keyboard, and I was trying to come up. Have you seen Stranger Things?
Of course, yeah.
Well, you know the crazy synth stuff that they have in the background. All the what is it, arpeggiation?
yeah.
All the arpeggiated synths. So I just started messing around with the little tone, and then Hector was in the room at the same time, so we just like recorded that, and then Hector started messing around and kind of tweaked it. And then we got this like Kid Cudi vibe from it. So we kind of just started like trying to piece it together because it was kind of hard figuring out where it was going to go. Yeah.
One of my favorite songs that we've recorded so far. Like I said, still being a new outfit for me. But I think it was the weirdest track that we have done. When the guys played it for me, it was like, how do I put myself vocally on it? And you know, when me and Hector and Nick sat down and then Cloud came in, we all contributed how to really make it sound great. And when Cloud did his rap verse, that's when I heard it all come together, really.
Awesome.
When I realized that we were crafting something newer and it's bolder, and it was kind of thrilling.
Awesome. Well, Cloud, I'll ask you something specifically. You can go for that song, but just in general, like, where do you draw your inspiration for your lyrics?
For the lyrics?
Yeah, for the lyrics.
Real life experience, you know how that is. Sometimes you get phrases that inspire you, like while you're at the grocery store, or while you might have some stuff go down. You throw it in a note in your phone. You try to make a story of it, and then bouncing off of the guys, you try to like really be open to their interpretation for it, and that's how it becomes a group effort type song, collaboration, super group, if you will. At least that's how I see it.
Sometimes I just hear the beats and things of that nature, and I just write what I'm feeling in that moment. And it's sometimes probably bare, not the whole track yet form. And I just can lay some verses and lyrics down, and Hector will dissect them and what he wants to keep, what he wants. It's kind of like he's composing from there the basics of the song. And that's how some parts of Tongue Tied happen. That's how some other songs happen. From just me just going there and just saying the first words off my head. Sometimes it doesn't cut, sometimes it does. But that's usually the process we usually try and go to most of the occasions. Just like, what's the first thing I can think about? Because that's how it was with Tongue Tied. And then you just like, I want it all to just sound like it's coming from every different area. And that's how we have that whole overwhelming Lumen effect in the beginning. So sometimes it just comes into play, sometimes I don't. I don't know what he keeps and what he doesn't keep until I get in the next day.
Yeah, Hector does like this mad scientist type craft work. You lay down what you do, you contribute your instrument, and it's just better to leave him to like craft and rearrange things and just expect it to be a little bit more crazier and cool
don't
sounding.
fall in love with anything that you do because you'll have nothing is there that you remember, and it's all just over the place.
Well, sometimes like, when it comes in, we're like, all right, we got like enough space for a verse, and then he writes like 4 verses, and then he's like, you gotta choose, what's gonna hang around and stuff. Yeah,
It's gonna make the cut.
yeah.
Sometimes he just plays the beat and he's just like, "What you think?" And then I just do it.
Heard
So
that.
it all varies.
Awesome. Well, I'm just curious. Do you guys kind of split the production duties, or is like does one of you? It sounds like Hector, you're probably one of the ones that like are the behind the computer, kind of making the arrangements. But you guys like who's the proponent of like the biggest like engineer like / producer of the group?
Yeah, so I kind of like operate the program and stuff like that and do most of the editing, but then the guys will come in and be like, oh, well, let's do like a synth line or a bass line, and then we'll track it and just kind of edit it. So everybody's sort of just throwing stuff on the canvas,
Heard that. Sounds like a wonderful collaborative experience you guys have, and you can definitely hear that in your music, of all your different influences and kind of all your different voices kind of put into one thing. And I think that's really awesome. And your music's available out there. How can people find you? How can people keep up with Phantom Phunk on social media, and also how can they listen to your music?
Spotify is the biggest place where we have our big catalog, our recent singles. So if you have people who like the music, get them to pre-save it or save it in their library. And YouTube is where we release our visuals. We're really trying to take this time now to release just visuals that we get excited about, that we want to share with people, whether it be a music video or just behind the scenes footage. So our YouTube page is going to be popping soon. Instagram is a great way to communicate with us and stay in touch. And our email actually is, I don't know that top of my head, what is that?
We all have like our own emails, but you just DM us like Instagram or Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Instagram, TikTok.
Do we TikTok?
We don't have a TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. Yeah.
Are you into TikTok?
We're working on it.
We're working on TikTok.
I haven't delved into the TikTok train yet, but I'm big on Instagram and everything. But however people can find you, I'll make sure to put it on the lower thirds right here and make sure that people know that. But thank you guys so much for talking to me again. What's next for you guys? I know you said you had a tour planned. Obviously, as we're recording this right now, the coronavirus thing is going around, and most every show has been canceled. But are you guys planning any new music, or if touring is going to happen? I know you said you had a possibility of doing one in June. What's some stuff that you can tell us?
Yeah, so we had a tour planned for June, and so far all the venues are kind of holding tight on that. So we'll see how that plays out in the next few weeks. But other than that, just writing and recording, and then trying to make more videos. So we're just trying to put content out there, really.
Awesome. Well, guys, before we end, I asked all my guests before we end. I'm a big movie buff, as long as I'm also a music buff, but I love film. I think the two mediums of music and film are quite closely connected. I know you said you were into film sounds too, and I ask all my guests before they leave, what is your favorite movie?
I'll say, as of right now, Bronson with Tom Hardy. That's probably my favorite movie at the moment.
I like anything from Christopher Nolan. Yeah.
No Country for Old Men.
8 Mile? Yeah, I can watch 8 Mile a few times.
Wayne's a movie buff too. What's your favorite movie, Isaac?
What's my favorite movie? I always say Full Metal Jacket is one of my favorites.
Okay.
And a modern, like a more modern one that I really like is Whiplash, just being a musician myself.
Yeah.
Which it's essentially Full Metal Jacket for musicians. So
Yeah.
Thanks to Phantom Phunk for sitting down with me and talking all about their music. If you guys want to see more interviews just like this, you can go to facebook.com/Studio67NCC, youtube.com/NashComCollege, or you can find us on Instagram at Studio67NCC. Thank you all for watching. I'm Isaac Anderson, and until next time, stay lovely.